All right, welcome back. Let's look at the second email in Digital Marketers Indoctrination series. Now, before we go to the email, I want to go back to the user engagement and show you that even though this is the second email, we've seen a little dip, but we're still maintaining fantastic engagement, especially considering 2 days ago, we didn't know who this person was, and they had likely never heard of us. So this series is so important to building trust, authority, and a true relationship with your new subscriber. So again, email number 2, day number 2. Here's Digital Marketers Welcome Series and what it looks like here. So we can kind of come over and take a look at that within Maripost. Now going back, this is Digital Marketers engagement on the second email. So it's still very, very high. But let's see what we say. So the subject line, now this is very intentional. I'm keeping my promise. Now the reason the subject line is I'm keeping my promise is because we promised that the next few days were going to feel like Christmas, that we were going to send 3 of our best case studies. So I love the psychology behind opening a subject line with I'm keeping my promise. Right? We're building a relationship. It's one of the things that I would want someone to say if they were describing me. Right? Always gives a ton of value. Always keeps their promises or always keeps his promises. So I'm really cementing this in our new subscriber's mind. I promised yesterday that I would do something. I'm going to point out today that I'm following through on that promise. So subject, I'm keeping my promise. Now let's look at the email. Hey, it's Ryan Deiss with digitalmarketer.com again. Remember yesterday when I promised that I would send you one of our 3 most popular case studies today? Well, it's today, and that's exactly what I'm doing. But before I do that, I want to introduce myself. See, we didn't introduce Ryan a lot yesterday. We definitely didn't include a picture, and this isn't Ryan's branding picture. All of these things are intentional. Now, if your brand dictates that you're professional all the time, then maybe don't do this or maybe don't be as formal, but it's still nice to allow new subscribers to see that whether you're a brand or a personality-centric business, that you're a real person. There's a real person behind this brand. It's a way to humanize big brands because people don't build relationships right off the bat with big brands. They build relationships with people that own or work for big brands. So remember that in relationship building. So we go in and we introduce Ryan. We have a picture of Ryan with his $1 million napkin. This is actually something he has framed. It's a big deal in his life. And honestly, it's a big deal in the history of this company. So new employees see it. There's no reason why new subscribers shouldn't see it. So let's get back to the email. That's a picture of me with my $1 million napkin. Back in 2006, a colleague of mine bet me I couldn't put my entire business model on a cocktail napkin. I accepted that challenge, and as a result of the clarity, I cleared $1 million that year. It was a turning point for me, my business, and my family, and the start of Digital Marketer. Okay, now that we're not strangers anymore, check this out. All right, let's stop for a second. This section is very important. We've just introduced ourselves. We've just told a bit of our history, kind of a personal story, and we've ended it with, okay, now that we're not strangers anymore. Now, I don't want my new subscriber to think of me as a stranger. And if they did before, I want to tell them that now we're not. I want to allow them to move past that. I want to tell them that now is a defining moment in our relationship. We've just moved from strangers to acquaintances, maybe to friends, but maybe not yet. We'll continue that journey down the road, but right now we're no longer strangers. Sometimes just telling people that, especially via email when you can't look at them face to face and really have that one-on-one emotional connection, sometimes you just have to tell them. So tell them. Now that we're not strangers anymore, check this out. This is a link to a blog post. All right, it's a link to a blog post. I'll show you the blog post. It's one of our pillar pieces of content. It gets a ton of engagement, and it's a fantastic blog post. Absolutely fantastic. So we get almost a 60% click-through rate on that link. 60%. All right, back to the email. This is the case study I promised to send you. You're going to love it. It's about building an unbeatable business by becoming willing and able to spend more than your competitor to acquire new customers. Seriously, this article outlines the exact method I drew on that wrinkled cocktail napkin in 2006. It's the same system I apply to every business I start, acquire, or consult to this day. Go read it now because there's more coming your way tomorrow. Talk soon. Ryan Deiss. Okay, back to little email breakdown. So we're again reminding them, this is what I promised I sent you. So we had an open loop, we've closed it. I made a commitment, I fulfilled it. We've told a story, but I'm pre-telling them why they're going to love it. Why, if they haven't clicked on this link already, that they should go back up and click on it. All right. We're also down here saying we own several businesses, we start several businesses, we acquire several businesses, and other people pay for our information. It's another way of saying, I know what I'm talking about, and when I send you stuff, it's worth it's really worth money. It's valuable. So you should read it. If nothing else, I'm not asking you for money on this content, but I am asking for your time. And other people have given far more to read my content and to hear what I have to say. So there's no reason that you should not give me your time. And again, we're following with read it right now because I'm sending you more stuff tomorrow, more value in advance tomorrow. But down here is one of my favorite parts in all of our indoctrination campaign. Okay, so I changed my mind. Since I like to always underpromise and overdeliver, I'm going to go ahead and give you your second gift today instead of having to wait until tomorrow. See, it pays to read these messages from beginning to end. Here you go. All right, that was important. We're overpromising and underdelivering, and we're telling them that. I like to always underpromise and overdeliver. I'm going to give you your second gift today. I'm not going to make you wait until tomorrow. And then we're capping that off by saying, see, it always pays to read these messages from beginning to end. We're training them. When I send you an email, you better read it all because you may miss something very important down at the end. In this case, a free gift. Now, does it work? Well, look at the click-through rate here. Look at the click-through rate here. All right? It's not as great, but it's so much further down. It's still a fantastic click-through rate. So here you go, how to build an email marketing machine. I promise you'll never look at email marketing the same after reading that case study. Tomorrow, your third gift will hit your inbox, so keep an eye out for this subject line, gift number 3, as promised. So the PS is important, and we're doing a lot of cool things here, but again, we're opening another loop. We're telling them to look for a specific subject line in their inbox. So in the next video, I'll break down that third email, and we'll talk about how you can recreate your very own indoctrination series like Digital Marketer and hopefully see some of the same results from brand new subscribers. So I'll see you in the next video.